Welcome to Next to Madison, a podcast to help you live your best life.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Next to Madison. I'm so excited. Today's episode, we are talking about GameStop. You don't live under a rock. Everybody knows what happened there. A group of Redditors came and saw that there was a bunch of a big hedge fund had a lot of short positions on a company called GameStop. And they decided they were going to go and short squeeze them. And everything was going great. We were all rooting for them. Every news outlet was covering this thing. And the SEC, who we all thought was there to kind of protect everyday investors, ended up more protecting Wall Street. And a lot of people woke up and realized, hey, wait a second, what's going on here? And I wasn't directly involved in that. I wish I was, but I have a friend who's coming on today, a comedian. He was directly involved in this, very passionate about it, learned a lot about it. And we're going to talk to him about his position, not only kind of on this whole thing, what the future holds and kind of what he's learned and why he's so upset with the SEC and what this kind of exposed about them. Do they really have our best interests? Josh Wesson, he is going to talk to us about his dealings in GameStop. So my first question, Josh, for you is, how did you hear about this and what made you want to get involved?
Okay, I'm going to start. I'm going to be fast with it, but I'm going to start from the beginning because I've been out of this. I'm not used to the financial world. I got lucky because I was been poor and broke my whole freaking life. But I was on disability 2019 until this month. I've had 5 surgeries.
Oh, so God.
I was at home right before the pandemic, and then so there was just a mix-up with my disability, the unemployment, and there's the whole mess. And so I didn't know that I qualified for the pandemic assistance. So there was a couple of months where I was legit, I had no money. I was starving myself. I lost it. People thought I was sick. But you do what you got to do to get by, right?
Yeah.
So then actually Benny D was like, dude, you should apply. So many people get approved. Just try. So I applied, and then they're like, yeah, you qualify. So for the extra $300 a week. So I got all that together at once, or the extra. So I don't really want to talk about the money, but whatever. And so I had 10, I took 5, and I always told myself this: when you get money, be smart with it.
Yes.
I've known so many people have gone broke, and I've never had money. So I got it. I took 5,000. I bought things that I needed for my apartment and stuff, and then I took the other 5 and me and my brother, my older brother, he kind of got me into it and stuff. So he was telling me about Tesla and all these things. So I started to do research. I got Robinhood,
okay,
research. And so initially I was just I want to invest in a long-term investment, something that I believe in. So I like Elon Musk, his everything he does is, and Tesla's just, I like everything about it. Not only that, but the SpaceX shit, he's the only one with touchscreen fucking space shuttles and shit. So he's not going to fuck up. So, yeah. And I didn't even know this until a couple months, recently, but I didn't know Tesla was in the middle of getting squeezed. So I legit, when I bought the share, it was 2 shares. While I was watching, I had my eye on it when it was 1,500.
Okay.
And then it jumped to 2,000, and then I was like, all right, fuck it. So I put the 5, I got 2.5 shares. And then 6 months later, by Christmas, that 5 was 9 or something, 10 grand. So it basically doubled in 6 months. And I'm like, it's fucking crazy. And then, so my brother started telling me about GameStop in January. And it was literally right before it was on the news. So he was telling me about it. We're watching it. And I think it was 70. And in his mind, he's because it was 40, I fucking missed out. Now it's 70, I fucking missed out. And then all of a sudden, that shit just shot up. And we're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And so I remember on the day that I bought the shares, they restricted it. So you can only, at that point, you could only get 5. Before they turned off the buy button completely, you could only get like 10 shares, then you could only get 5, then they made it where you can only get 1, and then they just stopped it completely. So I got 5 shares that were $329 each, and then they shut the buy button off, and that motherfucker tanked.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, dropped down to like 40. But when what I notice, a lot of people, they don't really delve into anything. If somebody told me like you could potentially make money off of this, even if it sounds crazy, I'm gonna look into it a little bit. Like,
100%.
yeah, so I went on Reddit. I made an account. I went on Reddit. I just started reading. Like that became my fucking job. Like fucking 9 to 5 or 4 a.m. because I'm up at pre-market getting ready to watch. And
Yeah.
so I was on Reddit. There, these, and that's the thing. Is like mainstream media, like normal people, to them Reddit's stupid. Oh, idiots on Reddit. Like they think Reddit's just a bunch of dumb people. There are people from all walks of life on Reddit. You could have somebody in the finance world that makes 6 figures that's giving you information that you would have to pay a lot of money for. So all this information is coming in on Reddit, and basically everybody's like, nobody's selling because you could see there's data that shows you that people aren't selling. The price is dropping. So everybody's like, this is a fake dip. Buy the fucking dip.
Yeah.
Buy the dip. So I started, maybe it was like 100, I think it was like 150 going down. I started buying. And it was like every week it's like, okay, it's going to happen this week. Okay, it's going to happen this week. And it's just, but then I just kept putting my money in. And then also, because I only sold, Tesla split like twice. So those 2 shares turned like, I can't even remember. That's been like 10 or 15, I don't remember. But so when it was dropping, I noticed Tesla started dropping from like 950 down. And I mean, it went all the way down to like 600. But in my mind, I was like, okay, people are going to sell their Tesla to get GameStop. So I should sell my Tesla first. So I started selling it, but I noticed that every day it just kept dropping more and it wasn't going back up. So there was a certain point where I was like, all right, I'm just going to go all in. Because at that point, everybody was saying like GameStop could go to 100,000. Not what they're saying now, but at that point, like it could go to 100,000. So in my head, I'm like, okay, if it's $40 now, I don't need it to go to 100,000. I just need to go to 80, and then all my money doubled.
Yeah.
So like common sense was like, I'm pretty sure this is going to $80.
Yeah.
So I scooped up as much as I could, and then March was when we got that big fucking jump, and everybody lost their shit.
Yeah.
I told my roommate like right before, like a couple days before it happened, I went over their crib, and they were like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, yo, it's gonna jump. And it was literally, because I remember what happened. It was right after the first hearing, right after the first GameStop hearing, and they asked Keith Gill in the meeting, you think $40 do you think it's a good price where it's at right now? And he's like, I think this is a very attractive price right now. And he had 50,000 shares, I believe. And then after the hearing, by the way, if you watch the hearing, all those motherfuckers look guilty. Fucking Citadel and Griffin, like they all look guilty as fuck. You could tell from their body language. So that was talking to me. Then Keith is like, this is a very attractive price. And then right after the hearing, he doubled down. He bought another 50,000 shares. So, and he already got rich off this. He's already a multi-millionaire. So, like, you're not going to waste money doing that.
Right.
So he doubled down. And then I remember I told my old roommate about it. And I went over their crib, and my friend Jake, he was legit like, don't do it. Don't do it. Like, he made me promise him, don't buy any more GameStop. And I was like, okay, I never break promises, but for something like this, I'm like, I can listen to my friend. I'm pretty sure he's wrong, and I'll regret it. so I'm gonna break this fucking promise. So
Yeah.
I put it down as well on all my shit, and then right after that, it fucking jumped. So I mean, I've been following it up until today, and you know, it's been a crazy ride because every week you're like, this is the week. But
So what's it at right now?
I think it's at 180 something.
I mean, it was unbelievable because so the whole thing that kind of happened with it was, what was the guy's name on Reddit that kind of started all this? He lived in Boston.
The Roaring Kitty guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roaring Kitty, Keith Gill. He's the one that where he
Okay. Yeah, so it was that guy. So what he did, and it's public information, you just got to look for it, is he was able to see all the short positions that were on specifically by Citadel. And he said, oh, fuck these motherfuckers. We're going to go get them because if everybody buys, which was the short squeeze, you know?
I don't think originally that was even his plan, because even in the beginning, he was like, he saw something. He's like, this is going to be something. And like, he wasn't telling people to buy it, but which is what they're trying to blame on him. But he's just like, yo, guys, this is good. I mean, in his mind, he was looking at the company that's failing, and they were pushing the fundamentals for so long. Even though everything changed, they're still pushing. They kind of stopped because at this point, it's clear, like they're making moves, so you can't pull that. But he was basically just telling everybody, you know, this is what it is. And then eventually, like, it keeps going up. So people like, he keeps posting his positions. That was the thing. Every single day he posts his fucking YOLO, whatever. And you see that motherfucker going up. So it's like, everybody's paying attention. It's like, and the stuff that he's saying makes sense. So then people started jumping in. And it fucking we didn't get to the moon yet. We got cut off. But
well, and that's the thing too, is everyone's saying, oh, all these, you know, this Reddit page came in and everyone's telling them to buy it and they were going to do this whole short squeeze, and CNBC and all these news outlets were reporting on it. And I was like, hold up a second. This is what Wall Street does all the time. Every day they're manipulating the market. We, as smaller investors, retail investors, don't have access to all that. Now things are changing, and they don't like it when the small man gets rich. They don't like it. And that's,
well, we're going to take their money, because all the hedge funds, all the guys at the top who own the news channels, that's why they're fucking going against GameStop. And then, like, what's that dude, something Sorkin on CNBC, who's just talking so much shit.
Oh, Aaron Sorkin, yeah.
It's like, you watch this stuff, and when you know what's going on, it's crazy, because you're like, these people are making us seem crazy. All my friends think I'm crazy, but these motherfuckers they're just straight up lying, and they get away with it. And you tell people, like,
yeah. And that's the thing too. It's like, I don't know if the employees at hedge funds are as regulated as employees at like investment banks are, but like they have to hold positions a certain amount. They can't trade off the information. But I don't know if like Aaron Sorkin, like I think he's a retail guy. You know, he's not making millions of dollars. You know, he's just doing his job, which unfortunately they're paid to just kind of push this information. But what we learned about this is obviously these news outlets are there to protect the rich. The whole system is designed from every organization to protect the corporations and the wealthy. They say it's to protect the small man, but I think what we really realized through this whole thing was that it's not. Yeah. And as soon as regular people were beating them at their own game, it was like, hey, the tables have turned. But here's the thing, this shit's still going on. Robinhood is still going to be in trouble for this crap, right? You can't prevent people from buying this.
That's why I didn't sell, because they turn off the buy button. I'm watching the shit drop, but I'm like, this can't be legal. Like, no. This is definitely fucking illegal. And that's why I didn't sell, because I'm like, if I'm on the streets and a nigga walks up to me with a gun, it's like, give me all your fucking money. I give him my money. All right, we're in the fucking streets. That happens. But I'm doing something legal. I'm investing my money. And these people, and they're used to fucking us behind our back, but that's why, like, January 28th, like, I took it personal. Like, they fucked us in our face. Like, they fucked us and just tried to get away with it. And still try to get away with it. And are still trying to get away with it. But as time goes on, more, and they can't close their positions. So they could lie all they want, but at the end of the day, shorts must cover or close, because some of them say they covered, but covered, it could mean a couple other different things. They could move it around and shit, but that doesn't mean it's closed. But they have to close their positions and they're fucked. So.
Well, exactly. And the thing is, they've got access to, the media. And so they can spin fear, what they call it FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, which you see a lot happening in the crypto market. And it's just fake news to be able to benefit them. It's not benefiting the small guy, but a lot of people start panic selling. I was like, no, the people that get rich are the ones that go for the ride.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know that they had like algorithms and shit. It's like, their technology is so above what we even can comprehend, that the average person, where it's like you have algorithms that are taught human behavior. So it ain't even a person fucking doing all this shit. You got a fucking algorithm that knows, I do this, people are gonna sell, price is gonna drop. If I do this, like, so you're competing with a fucking genius computer, is what you're doing. And that's so fucked. And then it's like, the more and more you look into it, the more and more you learn that it's how much of fuckery is going on and of a scam it is, and how many people are involved. That's why the SEC ain't doing shit, because they haven't. Ever since they introduced computers into the financial world, they started doing shit. Ever since they started, they've been fucking with us.
Yeah.
So
they were supposed to protect the retail investor, but they don't.
No, their whole, it's like a whole scheme where they can make all the money. They tell us that they're trying to protect us. Oh, don't invest your money. Like, we're trying to protect. We don't want you to lose your money. You're fucking stupid. You're dumb. Dumb money. Literally call us dumb money, and people are okay with that. But it's like they make it seem like they're so much smarter than us, but they're not. A lot of them are just fucking rich. They're just
not,
rich.
right.
They have all they are is money. That's why when they lose their money, a lot of them motherfuckers start jumping out windows, because that's all they fucking have.
That's true. That is true.
All they have. So, and that's why they'll fight to the fucking death. That's why they're still fighting. Like, they lost. They can't. The only way they could have won is if GameStop went bankrupt. GameStop cleared their debt. Actually, they could have won again if everybody sold. But there's too many people in it now. People are buying the stock, hundreds of thousands of dollars every single day.
Yeah.
Nobody's selling. They're wasting money shorting it every day. So they're just making it worse day after day after day. And they've tried to like wear us out, but that hasn't worked either, because we're learning more and more every day. And so now the new thing, which everybody found out, was to direct register our shares, because what we found out is, I say we, but I'm just speaking for myself, but like, if the shares, when you buy a share from a broker, if it's Fidelity or Robinhood, it's in the broker's name, and that share can still be used to short the stock. So even though they tell you, oh, a margin account, we borrow your shares, but a cash account, we don't use your shares. That's not true. Every single share is used over and over and over again. The only way to change that is to direct register your shares into your name, which is everybody's doing. Computer shares of registrar for GameStop. So what everybody's been doing is calling their fucking broker. I want my shares direct registered in my name to computer share. They do that, and so basically, once the float is in computer share, which I think it's like 60 something million, but once they have as many shares as they're supposed to have, they're not supposed to go above that. So once they reach that limit, they're supposed to notify GameStop, and then they should take legal action at that point. Like now they can't do anything because you got all these assholes just fucking feeding you bullshit. They go, oh yeah, look, the short interest is 13%, but they're doing mad fuckery behind the scenes. But once Computershare has all the float, we won't need the SEC. We won't need the fucking DTCC. We won't need anybody, because at that point, you know, GameStop will have to take legal action. And then that's why people are saying, and I don't know if this is necessarily true, but some people are saying like that's the infinity pool. Like there's so many fucking shares out here right now that if the float is in Computershare and then we have our shares in our broker, and now the short hedge funds have to buy everything back, we fucking sell all the shares we have in our broker, and the fucking infinity pool is in Computershare, and there are people that aren't going to sell, period.
Right.
So the floor ain't 100,000 no more.
I just love the fact that like this whole like the whole pandemic thing started. Everyone, you know, a lot of people lost their jobs, unfortunately, but a lot of people got creative and they got smart.
It was a perfect storm, because we're used to fucking working all day, slaving. You come home, you're tired. For us, we got to go out and do stand up at night. But I mean, in this situation, and I was already out, but it's like, you know, you're getting money, you have time, and it caught my interest, because it's like you get money from this. So, and then I just started reading, and that's occupied most of my time.
Yeah.
If I go on a date, I feel bad for my dates because all they hear about is fucking GameStop. But it's like this is a big deal.
It is. And isn't this great that you've been able to financially educate yourself, which is so important, because our system of this country and this world is so broken. They don't teach you that because they want to keep you down. But you were able to say, no, fuck this system. I'm going to educate myself. And now, you know, you're a great comedian, you're a successful comedian, you can now better utilize, and you're probably a better consumer, meaning that you're not as wasteful probably, because you understand finances more and you want to buy more of that GameStop shit.
I stopped drinking for a minute. I even stopped smoking weed. Nothing could get me to stop smoking weed. But there was a point where I was like, if I buy an ounce for like $2.50, that I could get like 1.5 shares of GameStop. And that's go up. So let me just wait. You know, it's gonna happen soon. But then like a couple more months went by, and I was like, all right, I need some fucking weed. But it did. It literally opened my fucking mind.
Well, it does, because and then you look back sometimes and you go, why did I struggle for so long? It was because we were in this broken system. You had to do this to survive. You're living in New York, you're paying high rent, you know, you're working on your art, and it's like you're waiting for that person to give you that opportunity or give you that special or give you this, when the whole time there was so much stuff where you didn't need any of these people anymore. You don't need anyone but your fucking self.
Yep.
You just got to train yourself. And like, I really got into the crypto market this whole pandemic thing. And what I really love about crypto, and also it kind of applies to the GameStop thing, is that it was helping people who maybe struggled or were working on their dream or whatnot, or didn't have the opportunity to be properly educated and just kind of got by in life, to finally compete and to live the life that we all deserve, which is abundance and wealth. Yeah. And I was like, this is so fucking cool. But crypto, and it sounds a lot like GameStop too. It's like a lifestyle. It's like a healthy cult. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's what people call it. Yeah.
It is, because it's like, you know, there are so many, and I don't know the exact number. I'm just guessing here, and I guarantee you I'm right. There are more millionaires living in their parents' basement than you would ever imagine in your life. You would think it's possible. Why? Because people don't want to sell. They don't want to sell. They're like, I would rather live in a shithole and have millions of dollars in the bank.
I mean,
right? That's how I am.
I almost had to move, but I was like, I don't want to move yet, because I want to wait till this GameStop stuff is done. Looking at houses. It's weird looking at fucking $1 million houses. Like, oh.
That's great.
The crazy thing is, like, before the pandemic, the most money I ever had to my name was $3,000. Like, so I saved up to buy a car. That's the most money I ever had.
Oh my gosh.
So it's crazy to, like, you could work a full day, fucking 8 hours, or 9 hours, fucking 8 to 5, and you made less than $200. You made $100 and some dollars for that fucking day. And then you fucking open up your account, and then your account's up $5,000. Like, there was a period where GameStop was like, when they were going up, it was like a couple days in a row where I'm up like 2, 3, 4 grand, and it's just fucking mind-boggling. That's why I guess, like, I'm more into it, and a lot of like people don't see what I see. Like my average is pretty low, so like that's why people are like, oh, be careful. Oh, like my mom, oh, be careful with the GameStop. You don't want to lose all your money. I'm like, I can't. Like, at this point, I needed to go low to lose money. So
yeah,
people don't a lot of people, what I'm learning now, a lot of people don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, there's so many people that act like they know stuff about the stock market, and like everybody that's told me sell GameStop or do this or why? Nobody's giving me a valid reason why. I can give you plenty of reasons. I can show you data that would suggest that I'm right. But everybody else, their reason is it's never happened before. This is not going to happen. They're not going to let that happen. You know, there's no data behind it. And that's why I'm like, yo, you're wrong. You're fucking wrong.
well, it was the same thing with Bitcoin when it came out, right?
Yep.
How many people sold or they were mining when it first came out, and they were buying pizza with it, like, just, or drinks, or just stupid, invaluable shit. And the people that never listened and just was like, yeah, forget it, they're billionaires today. Billionaires.
I got a few friends that were like, you know, everybody knows somebody where it's like, my boy was telling me about Bitcoin and fucking,
I know.
and I didn't pay attention, and I could have been rich. I'm like, well, now you have another chance, nigga. You literally have another chance, and you're not listening again.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like, now you're educating yourself, and instead of, like, because the thing is, like, we're all on Instagram or social media, right? And it's amazing. Like, I have a timer on my Instagram that sets it for like 30 minutes a day, because if it wasn't there and I didn't get notified, I might be on there for hours, right? And it's such a pointless waste of time, except for the fact that I'm following a lot of investing accounts now. So, like, those I try to do, and I try to mute the other ones. Like, I'll try to just get those. But you have to, because if you're sitting there, like, you're reading up on Reddit. I'm on Reddit. I love Reddit. There's a lot of bullshit on Reddit, but there's also a lot of great shit on Reddit. It's like any platform. You've just got to sift out the proper stuff for you. And what are you going to spend your days on? Looking at chicks in bikinis, or being jealous of peers, or being happy for peers, or whatever people are doing on social media, or trolling people, or are you going to educate yourself? Well, how you spend your time is exactly what your future is going to hold.
A lot of people don't see it because they're so into it. The Matrix it's so real. And the only reason I got out was because of the Trump shit, which was bugging me so much. I got out, and then after being out, and then on the outside looking in, you're like, this is wild. Because it's like, I wasted so much time. I would waste a whole fucking day. I could sit in my bed and scroll through Instagram and Facebook and and message people, comment and stuff, and that could take up my whole day if I let it. But now it's like, that is a legit waste of time, because if you're on Facebook or anything, I'm arguing my opinion, you're arguing your opinion, you're not going to fucking believe me, I'm not going to believe you, and we're just going to keep going back and forth till we curse each other out and aren't friends. Stupid shit. Or, yeah, fucking go on Reddit. I've taken in so much information. That's why people are like, oh, well, why don't you tell me about GameStop? I'm like, I've been reading up on GameStop for 8 months. GameStop and the stock market. I knew nothing about anything.
I'm so proud of you.
Me too. I mean, we're not done yet, but yeah.
But the thing is, now you can take it bit. See, you know, there's always that whole thing, and like Tesla's a great example, right? Or Tesla and Apple and Google, those different stocks. Or people are like, oh, I wish I had bought it when I first heard about it, or I wish I had, you know, not sold at that rate. There's always an opportunity coming up. Your only job, if you want to be successful, is to properly educate yourself. And I'm saying this to all the listeners. Educate yourself, read up about things you don't know, because then that opportunity will find you, or you will find it, because now you know. There's always a next big opportunity. So never feel like you missed. And let me tell you, this whole GameStop thing is amazing, but this is I think the first of many short squeezes that are going to happen.
I think at once, yeah. I think GameStop and all the meme stocks are gonna squeeze at the same time, because I think they're all in a fucking basket. They're shorting all of these stocks together. That's why when they restricted them, they restricted all the meme stocks. Because I'm pretty sure from what I've read is like they had like a basket of stocks. We're gonna fucking put these motherfuckers out of business, and you know, put the fucking algorithm or however the fuck you do it, and then you fucking, I read some shit called seller boxing where they literally bring it down to nothing. The company goes out of business, and then the hedge funds, they don't even close their short positions. Their short positions are open, so then they never have to pay taxes on their gains. And then they could use that to do some fuckery. That's why, like, last week, all these zombie stocks started rising last week. Like fucking Blockbuster, Sears.
Wait, what? Serious? Because people actually started buying them?
No, nobody knows why, but people are saying it might be because like a smaller hedge fund fucking got liquidated or something, and so they had to fucking close out their positions.
That is unbelievable.
They had their positions open, and Sears and Blockbuster and all these companies they put out of business. Now that they're going under, it's like, fuck, now I gotta close my shit. And then all of a sudden, these things are going up. Like, they kind of correlated with GameStop. It's so weird. I think this shit goes so fucking deep.
Oh, it goes, there's so much shit we don't know, even about this planet, that's, like, frightening. But, like, we're starting to uncover it. And what was the whole thing of, I totally just had, like, a brain fart. But, yeah, it was, so I was just reading an article yesterday. It wasn't relevant to this, but it was a rich financial person. He was getting a divorce from his wife. It's the most expensive divorce in history. I think it was like 40-something billion. It was something enormous, like crazy, because Jeff Bezos got divorced and that would have been the biggest, right? But it was something about, he made 20 billion of his money alone by shorting the housing crisis in 08, right? And then you've got the show Billions, which was like the theory behind it is that they shorted the airline stocks for 9/11. So this whole shorting thing, which is basically just people trying to fuck companies and put them out of business, it's not a nice thing to do, but it's how you get rich. So most of these companies, that's what they're doing. They don't give a shit about the companies. They don't give a shit who holds it. It's all about them. And so they're shorting the shit out of this, hoping it'll completely go to zero. And I love the fact that like the regular man like us come in, we're like, no, fuck you. We'll play you at your game. This is amazing.
Yeah. And it didn't start that way. It just started as like, I can make a couple extra dollars. Like, it was only supposed to go to the 1,000. I wasn't trying to become a millionaire or billionaire off of GameStop. I just wanted a couple $1,000. But that alone would have taken down the whole fucking system. So yeah. That's one thing. And so the documents that just came out a couple of days ago was like proof that they turned off the buy button. They talked to Citadel. Ken Griffin lied, which is trending on Twitter, because he said that he didn't talk to GameStop, and now they have texts with Vlad from Robinhood, and they're like, he's talking like his boss, and they're like, yo, this is a mess. And his text was, I think this would be a good time for me to talk with Ken Griffin. Literally, that was his text. And the next text, he's like, I still haven't met him. Like, like a fucking groupie or some shit. So they definitely talked, and then the next day they shut off the buy button, and then they did some insider trading. They fucking shorted the stock even more. And that is like one of the big, that's why all these guys from the Fed are stepping down. Like 2 people are stepping down by September 30th because of ethical reasons. It's like they do that. We know they do this shit. They get all the information before us. They know it's gonna fucking go down. They short the stock or they pump money in it. They get rich off of a fucking tragedy.
Yeah.
And we have no idea.
I know. Well, all our politicians, like I saw something on Instagram where this kid was like, you know how they do those things where they're standing in front of screens and the screens will switch and they're talking in the corner, and he goes, so I get my stock advice from Nancy Pelosi. I basically just follow her positions.
I saw that on trending on Reddit. People the what do they call them? Generation Z or whatever. They're getting their stock advice from Nancy Pelosi.
Because like she knows she's such a criminal. Like she doesn't give a shit. Like she's just doing it to make money. Like, hey, I'm gonna follow her. It's not a bad idea.
Because getting in this situation, you realize both sides are trash. It's like they're using these topics like fucking women's rights, gay rights, Black Lives Matter to try to pull people onto one side, but in the behind the scenes, they're still doing fuckery. It's like they really don't give a shit about us. They're literally using us.
They are.
That where it's like, oh, I'm a Democrat. Oh wait, Nancy Pelosi's fucking us. Nancy Pelosi just dropped $1 million on a stock. You know, and like these guys, everybody's saying that the stock market's gonna crash. Like we're in a huge bubble. Fucking inflation. It ain't looking good. Fucking, there's just so many like stats. The reverse repo rate, which hedge funds use to like organize their books, the reverse repo is normally like 14 billion, 15 billion. We've been past $1 trillion now. We passed $1 trillion. I think yesterday it was 1.3 trillion for 2 days. Yesterday was like 1 point something trillion. But that is a clear indicator that shit, you know, they're trying. This is what they do. They know shit's about to hit the fucking fan.
Yeah.
They sell all their shit. They do all their shit behind closed doors, and then they fucking pull the rug, and then everybody else is like, "Oh, what the fuck? Like, I just lost all my money."
They did this right before all the politicians did. I mean, they're all. I don't care what party they're affiliated with. I call them the corrupt party because they're all corrupt. They did this right before the pandemic. Before the pandemic was announced, and it was in February, they all of a sudden liquidated all their positions. And I had a friend who knew somebody, a family member at a big hedge fund, and he called him and he said, sell everything. Just sell everything you got. I'll tell you when to get back in. And they did it. And we didn't even know the pandemic was about to hit for another 3 weeks. So these people are like just about themselves. That's it. But here's the good news, Josh, for people like us. We're young. We're not close to retirement. Future's bright. Yes, there's going to be a huge crash coming up. I mean, this isn't sustainable. It's just not. And the good news is when, like right now, the crypto market is just being hammered with the whole China thing going on, right? And all the politicians are, we need to regulate this, but they don't know what the fuck they're talking about because they're just stupid. So that whole thing's happening, but like I look at it and I see the red in any market and I'm like, cool, should I go shopping? Like, you know what I mean? Like I like when there's like a huge crash. Like I love it because if I was retired, I might be freaking out, but I'm not. Like these are huge opportunities to buy. So it's kind of like, you know, if you can maybe stay out of the market for a little bit right now and just kind of hold on to some cash, because there's going to be huge opportunities to get in cheap.
I think that's definitely going to happen where there's going to be so many people. I mean, especially the people in the GameStop situation. And like, I mean, I can't talk about any of the AMC or anything because I haven't done any research on those. But there are people that are like, that's their plan. You're going to have GameStop. That shit's going on the moon. Everything else is going to fucking drop. And then people are going to start buying shit at the bottom, buying the fucking dip on everything else. And then it's going to go up. But the good thing is now we're going to have good people that are going to become rich. We're going to have good people that are going to become wealthy. So there's going to be so many people, like these fucking billionaires have enough money that people don't need to be homeless and hungry. Like, I forgot.
I know. Okay. I know.
I saw something where it was like, if you made, I think it was like $180,000 or something a day, since like fucking Jesus was born or something, like way back when, you still wouldn't have enough, you still wouldn't have the same amount of money as Jeff Bezos. Like, that's how much, people don't even realize how much money, like, these people have. Like,
yeah.
If all you would need is just like a little group of super wealthy people that could change the fucking world, or just the United States can clean this fucking country up. But,
well, there's a reason they're not doing it. They're all together. Everybody in Washington, all these other people. And listen, I'm a capitalist through and through. I believe in educating people. I believe in taking somebody in a shitty situation and financially educating them so they can get rich on their own. That's why I love cryptocurrency, because it takes the fucking power out of the corporation's hands and puts it into the people's hands. That's what I love about it. I'm like, the system was rigged against us. Okay. You have to educate yourself and fight back. And I love that part. There's a reason these people who have this money are not doing it. They can sit there and preach all, we want equality. No, they don't. Because if they did, they would be helping more. You know, I don't give a shit about what Mitch McConnell or Nancy Pelosi or any of those clowns in Washington buy with their stock. Well, I kind of want to follow it because they're corrupt. I want to know their charitable contributions. Wouldn't you like to see that?
Yeah, and there's probably none. And if there is some, it's probably for a reason that's not.
Right, tax write-off.
Yeah. It's like, are we really supposed to believe that you're retiring or stepping down by September 30th for ethical reasons? You're selling all your stock and you're retiring.
So what do you think? Do you think if they retire, then they won't be held accountable and go to prison for whatever is about to come out? Why are they stepping down?
I think they're trying to get out as soon as possible. There's been a lot of people who have stepped down already. Like, these two guys that are stepping down from the Fed, they just got caught doing insider trading. So it's like right after they got caught doing insider trading, like, I'm stepping down, I'm retiring.
Well, does that mean they're not going to be held accountable?
That I don't know. I think it depends on how serious the situation gets, but I think that the situation is so fucked where, like, they've been getting away with it for so long. They're just used to getting away with it. They're used to lying to our faces, and we'll just take it.
Well, they just think we're stupid, but now I think people have educated themselves, and there's enough information out there that, like, they can censor shit all they want. I'm surprised they're not censoring financial information.
They censored Twitter. They fucking, because Ken Griffin lied was trending, and then it was gone. And then people on Reddit picked it up, and they're like, "Yo, fucking, it's not trending anymore. We gotta get it trending again." But it was going top 3 trending, 2, 1. Fucking gone.
Here's the problem though, like, all these people are so corrupt, but they're so powerful and their pockets are so deep that it's like, even though there's all this proof out there that they're corrupt through and through, it's frustrating for us because nothing happens to them.
Nothing about, yeah.
So like, maybe in the next lifetime, like, they will have to pay, or when they go to heaven, or maybe they won't go to heaven. We don't know. It's not my job to say, it's God's. But like, one day, like, karma is real. I believe in karma. You can only fuck somebody so many times before it kicks you in the ass even harder, right? So I don't know. Maybe their karma is they don't have an afterlife. I have no idea. But I'm like, how can this be possible?
Their karma is GameStop.
You what?
Their karma is GameStop. That's
right.
Fuck them so bad. Like, they're stuck. If they could have got out of this, they would have got out of it. It's 8 months now. They're fucked. Hedges are fucked. That's what they say on Reddit. But that's the truth. They cannot get out of this. They're gonna try. They've tried so many things, but
I love it.
This is the one situation. That's why people are even saying, like, this isn't even a once in a lifetime situation. This is literally a once situation.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as this shit was done, they started passing rules in like fucking February. They've been passing rules every single month since February to rules about this. Oh, if hedge funds get liquidated, we need to, we could get their assets faster. And like, they're literally they're passing so many rules to control the squeeze so that there's not a huge fallout from that, but also to make sure that it never happens again. Like a lot of the stuff that they've gotten away with, they're changing. They've already changed. So this situation already can never happen again. But it's going to this time.
I mean, I love it. I mean, everybody always wants, not everybody, but like most people want to root for the underdog, right? Like if your team's not playing in the Super Bowl, you're going to root for the underdog. You know what I mean? What's that?
Underdog?
I love it. That's great. The underdog. But you know what I mean? So it's like this whole thing was so exciting to kind of see it. But here's what I love too. It's like, we both lived in New York. Or you're still in New York. I'm coming back to New York. But the whole Wall Street bros, went to Harvard, went to Yale, probably played lacrosse. My dad was on the board, blah, 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 blah. The bro, right? Worked on Wall Street, and that's what they would use to like get pussy. You don't need a Harvard education anymore. And I love the fact that like these bros are going to be beat out by the everyday guy. And it's like, takes two to tango.
That's why they're so pissed.
Of course they're pissed, but it's
I've talked to people from that world and they get so angry about it. I've talked to some like rich people.
Yeah.
I mentioned GameStop and they're mad.
Why are they mad when they could have gotten involved themselves? Are they mad because they did?
In their world, it's like we're the fucking enemy. Like we're trying to take down the fucking rich, or we're doing this. We're trying to fuck them over, even though they try to fuck us over. Like we're the fucking bad guys.
They've been doing what you guys have been doing since the start. Since the start of this whole market thing. Okay, this has been happening. They finally got caught at their own game.
They tried to say that we were manipulating the market. They tried to get us for market manipulation. That's some wild shit.
First of all, why would Citadel, want to make a bet? They do this all the day long. It's basic what the hedge fund started with. They're hedging positions to go down. But you're basically trying to put people out of business. It's pretty fucked up if you think about it.
It's seriously fucked up, and it's not the way it's supposed to be.
No.
That's not the way it's supposed to work. I like a company. I think it's gonna do good. I invest in it. If they do well, I make money. If they don't, but no, you got these people behind closed doors that are like, brick and mortar. They're gonna. Oh, we got a pandemic coming. Let's fucking short the airlines. Let's fucking short. Short all these brick and mortar spots. They're gonna go out of business. So let's just put them out of business and make billions, and then we won't have to pay taxes. But they've gotten away with it for so long that they just got caught so off guard.
Well, maybe this is karma. This is karma playing out, and like we just see it as like, oh, they got caught and people out educated them, but like there could be a bigger play of this. This is like karma. It's like wake up.
I look at the situation and I like. It does seem like a higher power type of deal. Like I think about how I fell in, or how this literally like fell into my lap. Like that's how it feels. It feels like it fell into my fucking lap. Even though like I did a lot of like work and stuff, but it came out of nowhere. And it's just crazy the steps where it was like, I want to invest some money. Tesla, and then I made some money on Tesla, and fucking GameStop out of nowhere, and then like all this madness going on. It's just.
But don't you think this whole thing is going to help you in like your artist career, like being a comedian? Like probably when you go and do your shows and you get paid, or you're just working out some jokes and you go on the road, you probably have a different. I feel like you would have a different approach to things because you're coming at it from more of a business perspective now, even if it's subconsciously. I think that you're probably going to start working a little differently. I know that that's happened to me where it's like you're more strategic about what you do and what you don't do. You realize that like, wow, that was all just so I could make an Instagram post or, you know, keep up with everybody else, when that was such a fucking waste of time. I could have been doing this and then done, you know?
It's already happened because like my old life and my new life are completely different. Like I used to get home at 4 a.m. Now I get up at 4 a.m. So it's like
Yeah.
I do stand up. I'm not out till 4, but like I get drunk, get home at like 1, and then I'm fucking hungover the whole next day. I'm just like, this was a fucking waste. I didn't even do anything. I didn't get laid, nothing. I just drank too much, and
Yeah.
I wasted so much time, and I wasted money, and I just blew $100 on drinks. So it's like, but the old me would just keep doing it over and over again. The new me is like, nah,
Yeah.
no. I like getting up at 4, working out, getting my stuff together, getting in my zone. That way, by like, if I wake up at fucking 8 or 9, that's late to me now.
Yeah.
Like I
That
get
would
up.
have been early in your old life, because comedians, I'm like, I'll still talk to some comedians. I think some of them have changed a lot, but they would be like, oh yeah, I don't get up till 2. And I'm like, 2? I've already had 2 full meals by that time, and I've already worked 6 hours. Like, what the fuck? How do you function?
That's like Benny D. He get up at like 2 in the afternoon. I'm like, wow. Like,
How does
I
he,
work
how
this
does he
shit.
survive?
Yeah, I don't know how people do that, but getting into this, I'm like, it already has. It already has changed.
Isn't that so? Yeah, it's like a blessing in disguise, right?
Yeah, it really is.
Because you just realize how much, like, first of all, I love a good party and I love having a good time, but you got to space it out and celebrate for the right reasons. Because I mean, when you're hungover, your whole day is wasted, and it's like all the shit you could do mentally, financially, and all physically, you know.
Sometimes it takes me 2 days. Sometimes it's like the first day I'm completely fucked. The second day I'm still a little nauseous.
Well, that's why they say like people that really like that don't drink at all, like how much further along they are in the game, health wise and work wise, because they've got nothing to stop them except maybe like a common cold, which they can stop by being healthy. Like they're unstoppable, and we have the power to do that too. But that, I mean, I don't drink that much, but when I do, I have to prepare to not be doing anything that day, and I'm like, what a fucking waste of life.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Think like the last 2 dates I went on, it was like I spent like, and it wasn't even like anything serious. We just got drinks. I still spend like 120, $50, and I'm like, how did I even do this? So you're out fucking like, let's do shots, let's do more shots, and then they charge you full fucking price. You're like, what the I could have fucking got a bottle for one of these drinks. If I really wanted to, I could have went to the liquor store, bought a bottle, and just, you know, chill in my crib or get somebody to come over. But the whole fucking just being out, hanging out, and if you're not mingling or something can come from it, you know, it's in your work, like stand up, and you know, you could be talking, something could come from it. I'm on a whole nother fucking wave. I had a spiritual awakening. I'm in the 5th dimension now.
Dude, I love to see this. I'm so happy for you and proud of you. And it's just like, you know, I think you're going to be more successful in your arts because of it.
I think, well, I mean, I was thinking about even like with, I mean, because I plan on making money with GameStop, but I mean, even if I sold everything now, I could still, you could still do stuff. Like I'm thinking of like in the future, I could elevate my stand-up career, because the only thing that's really holding me back right now is credits. Like I haven't booked anything. No TV shit. And I mean, there's so much stuff that goes behind that. But if I made money, if I had $100,000 or some shit, I could put together my own show. I could make my own pilot and get all the people that I think are funny involved. I could get writers, and I could put together a good fucking show.
Yeah.
And then that'll be my credit. And then I could tour and then do everything that I need to do. So it's like that would definitely, there's so much stuff you could do with money that could elevate your career. So
Oh, 100%. I mean, just in general, but I think that you're in that mindset now. Like you're not in that lack mindset, they call it. There's a lack mindset and scarcity mindset, and then there's abundance mindset. I feel like you're now in that abundance mindset, and I've reached that too, where before I was like, oh, I got to save this and I got to get this temp job or this day job just to keep the lights on so I can keep doing this and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, oh my god, like what lesson was the universe trying to teach me here? Like this was so stupid, right? And when you finally get into that abundant zone, and once you're in that abundant zone, opportunity starts presenting itself like you wouldn't fucking believe. And that's what happens to me. Like I just come across things. I'll see somebody's page I haven't talked to in 5-10 years, and they're doing something cool, and I reach out, and boom, all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, I'll invest in that. That sounds like a great thing. And all of a sudden I got residual income.
Here's the way it works. It's crazy that you said that. I was literally thinking about that today because I got laid off from Calvin Klein on September 1st, but I've just been in this mindset where it's like the higher power, all this shit works with you when you're working with it. And they just bring it to you.
Yes.
Literally 2 days. I put my resume on like before because I just had a feeling. And like the day before, Walmart hit me up for like a fashion job, but I haven't heard back from them. But then like a day later, a girl that I work with at the stand, she hit me up, and she works for a stock company now. And she's like, are you still in fashion? And I was like, I literally just got laid off this week. And she's like, we need people. She's like, there's a temp position, customer happiness. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And that was good enough for me. But somebody hit me up on LinkedIn again for this flooring company. And I had an interview this morning at like 10. And in my mind, I was like, I like this job, but then I'm talking to this lady, and the position, it's like what I did at Calvin Klein, working in the showroom and stuff. But the money that she told me was like way higher than I was expecting. So
yeah,
it's like,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, so it's like I was thinking about that today, just the abundance thing, where it's like I can choose now. I don't even have to worry. Like I could pick one. And something else will probably come along. But once you're like in that, once you have that, whether it's a job, whether it's dating, whether it's money, it's like that. The abundance mindset works with all of those. If you have a girlfriend and you're fucking completely focused and you don't have that abundance mindset,
yeah,
you're gonna lose that girl.
I mean,
you're fucking going through life, and it's like the scarcity. It's like I need it. I can't lose this. I fucking need this. That's what fucks it up.
It's true. Yeah, you just got to kind of go with the flow, but that's why you got to just be like, there's going to be opportunity. There's going to be this, and you got to follow your gut. My gut has always been right. My problem is I never followed it. Now I do.
I just started. After my spiritual awakening, I just started following my gut, and there was a couple of experiences where it was like, because I'm just experiencing all this stuff, and then I approached this situation with that, and it changed completely.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this and you're still kind of stuck, or you think that you need to keep your job so you can retire at 65 and then die 15 or 20 years later, well, you got to wake up, because there is more to the 9 to 5 is a trap. It's a fucking trap.
It is. Like you shouldn't. That's what I've learned. It's like, because my mom is old school, so she's like, you have to work hard, and I believe that too. But people I know with money say you're not supposed to work hard. You're supposed to work smart.
Yep.
You shouldn't be trading your time for money. You should be able to just you do this and then you get money for that. Like I shouldn't have to fucking go to work, I gotta get up at 7. I gotta be at work at 9. Walk my fucking dog. Gotta get a dog walker and shit. And
Yeah.
these niggas are like, oh, you gotta stay late, and it's like, it should not be this way. And then now it's even to the point where, like, I forgot what I was saying because something just popped up on my screen. But
Well, and but yeah, it's like people need to get their power back. But it's true. If you can't go to bed at night and if you're asleep and you're not making money, something in your life needs to change. Reach out to people, start reading things, because you should be making money at all times of the day, because everybody deserves money, but you got to go out and get it. Nothing's given to you. You have to go out and seek those opportunities, But
money can make you money.
Yeah. Well, that's why the rich will always get richer, right? But now I'm going to be the rich one. So watch out, world. Here I come. You thought I had a cunty face now. You just wait. No, I'm just kidding. Right? But remember my joke, the cunty face? You don't remember that one? I was like, yeah, I've got a cunty. I don't even remember. It's been so long since I've done it.
I forgot my shit. Like, I legit.
Oh, it was that I look like a second wife. And I was like, I get it. I got a cunty face. I got the face that's like, I'll bring my own food to your barbecue. So it was that. Well, Josh, this has been great. We're going to wrap up. Where can everybody find you?
I guess my Instagram is what I'm most active on. Is JWest, JAY.WESS. I perform at the Stand regularly, so that if you want to see me, just go on the Stand website. I'll probably be there hosting.
Okay, you guys, and the Stand's in New York City. So if you don't live in New York City, go visit it. It's an amazing comedy club, but also it's got the best food out of all the comedy clubs. So yeah, you'll have a good meal and laughs, which is awesome.
And
so
I'll make sure that you have a good time.
There you go. All right. Well, I love it. Well, Josh, thank you so much. And everybody listening, wherever you're listening, I appreciate you tuning into another episode. Hopefully this episode inspired you to go find that next stock or start investing or find an opportunity that gets you out of that rut. Or if you're already rich, that's freaking great. If you want to pass along opportunities to Josh and I, we're here. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time to find out who's next. Bye.
Hey, your host here, Madison Malloy. Please make sure to subscribe to the show on all podcast platforms, and please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. Also, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at contact@next2madison.com. I thank you again for listening. Bye.